How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are having a great week. So I'm back today with just kind of a quick video, guys. One of my subscribers sent me an idea for a video and I kind of liked it, especially at the moment with a lot of people obviously stuck at home due to lockdown and everything that's going on. I know a lot of people are going to be jumping in and playing their backlog. I'm actually still working at the moment, but obviously with me not being able to go out as much on the weekends and when I'm not working, certainly I've been spending a lot of that time zooming with family, spending time with Dante, catching up on shows on Netflix, but also playing a lot of my backlog. And one of my subscribers asked me to make a video where I talk about just some of the games that I haven't played to completion, have either never played at all or I just never got around to finishing them. And these are games really that I feel I should have played by now, and there is a little part of me that feels a little bit guilty for not completing these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you know those titles and what those titles are. I've actually picked out 8 games that are in my backlog that I'm definitely wanting to finish, and I'd really like to beat them really by the end of this year if I could do. Although, you know, with The Last of Us Part 2 coming out in June, and then Ghost of Tsushima coming out in July, and then Cyberpunk coming out in September, obviously I don't have much time to be able to achieve that, but I wanted to sort of talk about them. And obviously next week would have been, you know, E3 week if everything was as normal. And we know that obviously E3 wasn't going to go ahead because of what's happening in the world with the pandemic, so instead there was going to be a lot of streaming, sort of streams, developer streams, publisher streams, gaming sort of news network streams like IGN, GameSpot, and so on. There was going to be a lot of that next week, and I had actually booked the week off work because obviously, as always, every year I always cover E3, and I was planning to cover the new version of E3 as well, because of what's happening obviously in America, a lot of those streams have been postponed and have been delayed to a couple of weeks into sort of the mid to the end of June, and obviously, you know, there's good reasons for that. What is going on in America at the moment is it's pretty terrible, and it's important, and I don't think there should be anything really, you know, detracting from that. There is a very important messages happening in America at the moment, and the focus for the world really should be on that situation, and obviously how it's going to resolve, and hopefully it will resolve in a good way. Things are a bit crazy at the moment, and I will admit I am worried for many of my friends and subscribers that live in America. I hope you're all staying safe and obviously, you know, looking after yourselves through this crazy time that we're living at the moment. But with me having next week off work, I was planning to spend the week sort of playing through my backlog, and I did still want to kind of connect with you guys and still produce, you know, some content next week, because I know many of you do enjoy that, and always E3 is a really great opportunity for me to interact with you a lot more, and I really enjoy it. So I wanted to do something still. I will be doing some game news videos most definitely next week. Probably going to be doing more of my what do we know so far videos. I've got a couple of games already planned that I'm going to talk about, and I'll produce more as the week goes on as I get those ideas. But I also wanted to stream a lot more next week, especially with me being at home all week. I thought it would be really cool being able to stream every day for you guys on my YouTube channel. I have a new PC, so I'm really looking forward to sort of taking it out for a spin and seeing how it actually performs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through which, you know, what these titles are in my backlog that I never got to play, and I'm going to show some footage obviously for this. And what I'd like you to do, guys, because it might be fun, is vote for which game you would like me to play, and I'm going to play this game through its entirety, and I'm going to stream it every day. So I'm planning at the moment to stream 2 hours a day, probably between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Next week. Dante is still working from home, so I do need to be conscious of that, obviously, if I am streaming. He hasn't got next week booked off work. I think he's got the week after. So obviously vote for the game that you would like me to play, and then I will start streaming, and you know, I might lengthen the time for those streams as the week goes on. Generally see what the response is like and how people respond to it. So here are the 8 games that are in my backlog that I never got to play. These are in no particular sort of numerical order in terms of importance, but just kind of what I wrote down when they came to mind. So the first game in my backlog is Bloodborne. This obviously is an exclusive on the PlayStation 4. Now, I played Sekiro Shadows Die Twice last year. I didn't complete the game, but I really enjoyed it, and I know Bloodborne is considered to be one of the best Souls-like games on the PlayStation 4, and many a time my subscribers have encouraged me to play this game, pick it up and play it. I know it is hardcore, I know it is difficult, I know I will be dying a lot, but it is a game that I'm interested in, and I love the setting and the aesthetic of it, the design of it and style, and yeah, it just looks like nothing else. So Bloodborne is definitely a game I'm wanting to play and complete. The second game on my backlog is Final Fantasy XIV. I'm definitely more interested in the world of Final Fantasy, especially having just recently completed the Final Fantasy VII remake, and you guys know I was blown away by that game, and if you haven't done so, please check out my review of it, where I go into more detail about that and why I was blown away. But my friend Edge has been a massive fan of the Final Fantasy XIV game, which I know is absolutely massive in scale, and I do own the game, and I have been saying to him for years that I will jump in, I will play it. I did start a character, but I didn't get very far. I only played like the first hour or two of the game, and then just got distracted by other games in my life. Never really jumped back into it. So I suppose it would be a good opportunity to do that, and Edge has said that he would be interested in jumping in and helping me out in some dungeons and things like that. So could be an opportunity to have a little bit of a team-based stream as well, which would be kind of cool for you guys possibly. So Final Fantasy XIV, I've heard it's got an amazing story. Of course, it's a massive RPG, you know, MMO kind of title, but I hear the story is really where it's at, and you all know I'm a story-based gamer. The third game on my backlog is Persona 5. I started this game, got through my first kind of like dungeon kind of area, and really I loved it. You know, I don't know why I never finished this game, but I really enjoyed it. The music was fantastic. I love the characters, I love the setting. I probably would start this game again from the beginning, possibly, because I feel like I've forgotten a lot of the mechanics and a lot of the key story beats. And obviously if you haven't seen any Persona 5, probably would be good to start it from the beginning, so you guys obviously know what is going on. But Persona 5, I know for many was considered one of the best games of the year when it came out, and it's a fabulous exclusive on the PlayStation 4, and it's just a really good Japanese kind of RPG, and yeah, just the style is like nothing else, and it's supposed to be really good. So it definitely is a game I'm wanting to complete, and Edge has finished it. He often sings its praises, so I feel a little guilty that I haven't finished it. The fourth one is the Yakuza series. I actually have never played the Yakuza series, which I know is a very well-loved series on the PlayStation 4. I do own Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami, and Yakuza Kiwami 2. And I am interested in picking it up and checking it out. I think it would be really cool to play. So that would be another series I definitely want to play from zero all the way through. And I would absolutely be interested in streaming it for you guys if there's interest out there. The fifth game is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So this obviously is on the Nintendo Switch. Dante actually bought this for me last year at Christmas. He bought this for me in Christmas. So I've actually had the game 6 months, and I feel kind of guilty and bad. I picked up the game, started it, and didn't get very far and then just haven't continued on with it. Because again, the problem with it when you have a YouTube channel is you have to stay on top of the games coming out, and sometimes you'll get something, and if you don't finish it before another game comes out, it's just kind of left on your shelf, which is really bad, and it does definitely make me feel a little bit guilty about the fact, obviously, that I haven't finished it. So I feel like I kind of owe it to Dante to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so that's another one on my list. The 6th game on my list is quite guilty, quite bad. That is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I played this game, I've started it, there are 4 kind of like relic monsters that you have to beat in the world, and I beat one of them and never really continued on the story. And I think because it's just such a massive expansive story and world, I never got to finish it. But obviously, you know, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece. It is a beautiful game, really gorgeous, and I feel bad that I haven't finished it. And Dante does often give me a hard time about the fact that I have not finished Breath of the Wild, and he's completed it, done all of the DLC. I think my friend Fish is exactly the same. So I feel bad about the fact that I haven't finished it, and I probably do owe it to myself to jump in and actually try and get that game finished. The 7th game on my backlog is actually the Bioshock Collection. So I purchased this recently. I think I have this on the PC as well as the PlayStation, I think. I've never played a Bioshock game. I know Bioshock Infinite is kind of a prequel, I think. And then obviously you've got Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. I know the setting is really cool, as is the humor, and I am definitely interested in picking it up and playing it, but I've never actually played the Bioshock series. I think when I was back in Japan, Dante, I had the game, but I think Dante actually played it and completed it, and I actually never got around to it. And finally, the 8th game on my backlog, which is very bad, is actually the fact that I have never played Grand Theft Auto 5, which I know, if for many, is one of the best games that obviously Rockstar ever came out with. I know that many people love it. It has sold millions and millions of copies. It recently just got dropped on the Epic Games Store as a free gift or a free download, and I did get it. I yoinked that while it was on the store, so I do now have it on my new PC, and it is a game I would be interested in playing all the way through, because I know many people do love it, and yeah, I probably should pick that up and finish it. So Grand Theft Auto 5 is the last game on my list. So there you go, guys. That is my backlog. There are many more games that I have not completed, not finished. It is definitely my library, my backlog library is quite bad, especially, you know, if I've purchased the game digitally. But these are the 8 games really that I could think of that really are bad, you know, that I haven't finished it, and these are probably the 8 ones that I'm most interested in picking up and playing and finishing. So like I said, what I'd like you to do is to vote in the comments below, out of those 8 titles, which one would you like to see me stream next week? And, you know, are you interested in me streaming? Would you jump in and you know, check that out? Obviously, I'm going to be streaming during the middle of the day, so I still have, you know, my evenings free to do what I want to do, and obviously either produce content or just generally chill and recharge my batteries, which I do need to do next week, obviously, because it is booked off as an annual leave from work. But I still want to do some things, so if there is interest, please let me know. As well, I will also be uploading these live streams onto my channel after I have done them. So if you're not able to jump in and check out the stream live when it happens, you can still tune in and watch that playthrough, and watch me, you know, play through one of these games on my list. So please vote in the comments below which game you would like me to play. If you also have any suggestions on some what do we know so far videos or games that you would like me to cover, cover next week in my channel, then please let me know as well. Obviously, when the streams, you know, are streamed live, the Cyberpunk stream particularly, and also the PS5 reveal event, and Ubisoft stream in July, and Microsoft stream in July as well. Those are the big ones I'm really interested in, and I will definitely be recording my reactions to it. I might very well live stream my reaction to it as well if there is definitely enough interest for that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great week. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye guys.